today with Elena Cardone. I want you to tell us a little bit about this new book you got coming out, because everybody's talking about it. Give us the insight. Give us the scoop.
Okay, well, the book is called Build an Empire, How to Have It All. And it's really about a mindset on how to get your goals and your priorities so big, and how to get you focused on creating an empire that you are no longer fighting against your partner if you have one, or even just partners in life with the business or whatnot. Stop sweating all the little small things. When you're going for the Super Bowl kind of ring, you're not going to be arguing about game 1 or game 2 or who made a problem. You're just trying to adjust then to go for the long term. So, and the reason why I want people to think in terms of empires is because you have to think in terms of creating something so big and so powerful that it can withstand the everyday normal hits that come with life, which a normal life, unfortunately, can't withstand that and end up crumbling.
So where can people find this book?
You can go to elenacardone.com/empire and get it for free there.
Okay, and what about is all the bookstores carrying it as well, or just Elena Cardone?
It's on Audible, Spotify, it's on Amazon, yeah.
Perfect. What someone like yourself who's, obviously achieved tremendous success, what are you looking forward to? What are your goals right now, say in the next 6 months to a year?
I have a couple of things. I'm really branching out with my own brand, this Empire brand, and kind of not excluding men by any means, but really trying to hit the women market. So I want to go global with this brand and make that awareness known to the women in that industry. And then all of that goes under the umbrella of Cardone Capital. That is a huge passion of mine. I want to grow our business there. We're at 5,500 units right now. I want to go to 10,000 units and eventually to 40,000 units. So all roads, everything I do leads to Cardone Capital.
I notice you guys are really into fitness these days. I see Grant all the time. He's looking like, I think he's probably in the best shape I've ever seen him, to be honest with you. Tell us a little about your guys' fitness routine. What's that look like?
Okay, well, for Grant, since you mentioned him first, he's 61 now, and he started complaining a lot. Like he had these torn, just from years, not one specific injury, but he had these 2 torn rotor cuffs, I think, and his ankle had a big problem, and just his back was hurting, his hamstrings. It just seemed like he started complaining every single day about his body. And I'm like, you know what? You have got to, because I had just started training, and all the guys at the gym are like, you cannot get around. You have to do weights because it makes your body and your bone structure strong enough. So I told Grant, I hired him a trainer, and I said, you're going to do this thing three days a week. Well, Grant's like me. Once he gets onto something, I think he did 3 days a week on the first week, and then after that he did 5 days a week. Now hand to God, he works out 7 days a week. And most of the time he trains twice a day because he'll do cardio in the afternoon. And he is not complaining anymore. He feels strong. These things are repaired now. He did do some physical therapy on that. But every single morning he's hitting the gym. When we travel, he hits the gym. I don't. I started a year and a half ago with Muay Thai. I walked into a gym. I was terrified. I had never thrown a punch in my life. I've never been in a fight in my life. I didn't know. I thought the guys at the gym, first of all, I didn't realize how many women were going to be there, my ignorance. So I walked into this gym thinking that the guys were going to be like, oh, what is this girl doing who doesn't know what she's doing training at the gym? But it was so the opposite. They all legitimately respected me. They understood. They welcomed me. I felt like a very safe community there. And then I learned about weights because I went to Los Angeles as an actress and a model. So for many years, I never did weights. It was all about being super skinny, and the camera adds 15 to 20 pounds. So the only thing I understood about a gym was the cardio machines. I never did weights. I never had muscles. All I did was not eat, drink a ton of water, and do cardio for many years. So this journey is very new to me. I gained 12 pounds since I started at the gym. Now I don't do a scale anymore because it messes with my head, but I'm fitter and more healthy and stronger than I ever have been. I train 1.5 to 2 hours a day. I start off with 30 minutes of weights, and then I do the boxing, the Muay Thai for the next hour and a half. And now I added jujitsu. So I'm pretty serious about it. I don't understand why I feel like way more intense and way harder than Grant. And he looks like way better shape than I am. I mean, I don't get it. It really makes me angry, but whatever.
I've met a lot of very successful women, and you are very inspiring. Like, being in your presence is very powerful. And I think that's probably why Grant gets that go, like someone of Grant's caliber who's always got to be on. He's got you in his corner. And I think that, part of Grant's success is honestly to do with the woman right here, Elena Cardone. I wanted to ask you, I mean, the big thing is that, someone like yourself obviously has got a busy schedule, always on the go, lots happening, What do you do when you just don't want to do it? Like, I mean, there's got to be days where you're like, I don't want to go on stage. I don't want to go to this interview. Like, what do you do to perform? Give us the insight.
Well, when it comes to performance, I'm from the show, I'm from that world, the show business world. I was an actress for many years, so I have it ingrained in my blood. The show must go on. So what do? I do it anyway. I practice that all the time. That's why it bothers me when I hear that expression, do what you love, the money will follow. Yeah, that's true. I'm doing what I love, but I don't always love what I do. There's things when I don't feel like doing something. It is uncomfortable or I'm exhausted, but I do it anyway because, I have that drive and that purpose to achieve what I want to achieve. So I get in the habit of doing it anyway. When my knees are shaking, every single time I deliver a speech, my knees are shaking, my mouth gets dry. I just know that that's going to happen to me. And most people can't see my knees shaking and they can't feel that my mouth is dry. It's not so bad where it hinders me. So I just learned to operate in spite of the way I feel. Like, who the F cares anyway about what I feel? Nobody. So who cares? It's a feeling. People pay too much attention to their feelings. Now, to me, it's like, what is that? I don't care. I don't get it. Get the job done. Now, for instance, I'm not perfect at that. I just came from this. I won the Global Woman of the Year award.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
How you're looking
wow.
at the Global Woman cover. Global Woman of the Year. Yeah, so I just received that award. I did the hour keynote speech. It was a long flight over, it was action-packed, tons of podcasts, tons of people, high energy. I flew all the way home, 9 hours from this, very little sleep, very high packed 3 days of this event. I come home last night, I walk into my house, and there's people there, and Grant's entertaining people, and I am exhausted, and he hasn't told me I have guests at my home. I Uber from the airport. He doesn't even know when I come in. I don't care. That's our relationship. Like, other women might be like, but I wouldn't wish that to my worst enemy, to have somebody pick me up from an airport. So, but anyway, I get home. I'm like, don't you know who I am, Global Woman? And no, there's like, hey, like, what?
Yeah.
So I'm exhausted. I did bitch out a little bit, and I'm not proud of that, but I was like, I kind of outed him in front of the friends and said, oh, it'd be nice to know if we had guests. And I'm sure that made everyone feel very uncomfortable. It was a big flunk on my part. But I washed up, I took a shower, I put on some fresh clothes, and then I went out, and then, I hung out with everybody. I don't drink, so I didn't partake in the wine, but I made them feel very comfortable. I was like, look, I'm really glad y'all are here. It would have just been nice to have been told, but whatever. I made light of it. And so that's an example of, like, I'm not always perfect, but I'm still not going to go ruin everyone's night by feeling uncomfortable in my home. You just have to adjust. And in a perfect scenario, I would have come home and just been wonderful from the get-go. But I'm not always perfect, but I try to be.
What do you enjoy most in your career right now? Is it getting on stage? Is it working one-on-one? Is it writing? What is the one thing that you just love doing? If everything paid the same, what would Elena Cardone do?
Oh, that's hilarious. I would speak. I love speaking on stage. I love audiences. I love interacting with people. I really enjoy that. I love hearing feedback. I love working one-on-one coaching. I love seeing results. If I'm going to be purely and that's what I want most in my life, which is why the other areas suffered. But if I'm just only doing me, Elena, being selfish about everybody else, if I'm only doing me, I would be like the number one rated three gunner chick in the world. If I had no responsibilities. Three gunner chick.
Give us some insight on that, because I don't know what a three gunner chick is, and I think I'm kind of with it, but
Okay. Well, three gun is it's called three gun, and what it is it's a competition, many different stages, and you transition from a pistol to a tactical shotgun to a rifle. So those are the three guns, and on any stage, you transition through those three guns, and you have certain targets can only be hit by whatever, and it's a timed event, and of course, I would be the best. I would hit every single target in the A zone with the fastest time. I would be grandmaster level.
Wow. That is such an incredible thing to aspire to be. That doesn't, now it all makes sense. Grant Cardone right here is Elena Cardone, the three gun wife. Like that's it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Listen, Elena, did you have any questions for me or Nutrabolics?
Yeah, well, tell me about Nutrabolics. Like, why would someone take Nutrabolics?
The reason people take our products is because we use transparent formulas. We show the exact ingredients, where a lot of companies hide behind their proprietary blends and tell you how great their product is. We actually show the ingredients, and we actually, pride ourselves on innovation. I mean, that's our slogan. Innovation is everything. So we're putting key clinical dosages in our products that people can see and feel.
Do you have anything I can take that will make me kick my trainer's ass? He's a black belt.
I got that coming in the mail. The pre-workout is amazing, called Supernova.
Oh, and Supernova.
Products.
One where I'm going to deliver a punch that'll make him not laugh at me. Okay. If you got that, I'm taking it every night.
Yeah, Nutrabolics, I mean, for maybe you don't know, but I mean, I started when I was 20 years old in my parents' games room, right? And I was, only had $5,000 in my bank account. And I called my best friend in Toronto. I told him we were starting a supplement company, and I got a dial tone, right? And he hung up on me because we were both young kids, 21. He said, I called him back 10 times. Every time he laughed at me and said, how are we going to do this? We're going to live in your parents' games room. And I said, yeah, you're going to live in my parents' games room. And he hung up on me. I said, you're going to leave Toronto. You're going to leave everything. And you're going to come live in my parents' games room. And he just started laughing, right? And then but he's the best salesman I know. So I had to get on the plane. So I got on the plane. I took the red eye. I flew to Toronto. I showed up at his door, banged on his door. He comes out in the house coat. I said, get out here. We're going to do this. We're starting a supplement company, right? He's like, go back to Vancouver. What are you doing here? This is how he spoke to me. Get on the plane, Jayson. Go back to Vancouver. You're not supposed to be in Toronto. I'm like, Aaron, Rodney, you're my partner. We got to do this. You got to get on the plane. And it literally took me 5 days. 5 days. I stayed at his house. We're best friends. So I'm like, let me in. I'm staying over. I spent 5 days grilling him and finally got him on the plane 5 days later. And here we are 17 years later, right? And yeah, I mean, that's the story in a nutshell, right? And we just kept going. We got passionate, and we just really put out products that really we tried to over deliver. That's our message. Work with people and try to do more for them than they do for you. Try to put the best products out there. Like when I'm launching a product, I try everybody's product. I don't underestimate the competition. A lot of people say, oh, the competition's not very good. I said, no. These guys are in business for a reason. You know, they're still here for a reason. And we bring every single competitor and we do blind taste testing until it's unanimous that ours is the best. All right. Thanks so much, Elena. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.